See those sunfish beds behind me? We're going to be targeting bass-eating sunfish today. It's the springtime of the year. The bass have pretty much wrapped up spawning around here. There's a few stragglers still on beds, but for the most part they're wrapped up spawning. And the sunfish had started spawning. And now it's the bass's chance to get even with them for messing with them for the last month, trying to eat their eggs, all that stuff. And the bass are trying to take advantage of the sunfish, and they can be a little bit, I don't know how to say it, but like confused by the spawn. They get hyper-focused on spawning and not so much avoiding predators like bass. So I got my swim bait rod here. I'm throwing a big swim bait. It's a Savage line-through bluegill with a wedge tail. It's a good bait. I like it a lot. It runs a little bit truer if you have the treble hook on the belly, but I always rig it with the treble hook on top, and that's to avoid weeds. So with the treble hook on the bottom, it swims better. With the treble hook on top, I spend less time picking weeds off the thing. So that's the way I always rig it. It seemed to me like it was a pretty good plan. I knew the bluegill were spawning and the pumpkin seeders are spawning. And I was getting a lot of hits and bumps. So that tells me that the bass are interested in it. But for whatever reason, they weren't committing to it. But that's useful information. You know, I found an area with some fish. They're interested in eating. I just can't seal the deal. And so to me, that means I have to try another bait. And the bait I'm going to use is the new Zoom Super Fluke. It's a 6-inch size. So they have a 4-inch size, the Super Fluke Junior. They have the regular 5-inch size. And they have the Magnum Super Fluke. I forget, it's 7 or 7.5 inches. So this new size is in between the regular Super Fluke, the 5-inch, and the Magnum Super Fluke, the 7-inch. And it fits right in between there perfectly. So to me, what this really imitates is panfish, like bluegill, perch, and that size I think is perfect. There it is. There's a close-up view of it. I'm fishing the watermelon red flake color, and it doesn't look exactly like a perch or a bluegill or a pumpkin seed, but it's in that kind of panfish spectrum. I'm going to fish it on a 4-aught Gamakatsu hybrid worm hook. And I put a decoy silicone gripper keeper on there to help keep that plastic jerk bait up on the hook. Just going to rig it up here and start catching fish. There it is, all rigged up. Weedless, Texas rigged. Got plenty of wind on this trip. The wind this spring has just been relentless. But that can help the bite too. And pretty much as soon as I started casting that 6-inch Zoom Super Fluke, I was on to some fish. Now they weren't the biggest fish, and that could have been part of the problem with the swim bait I started out with. But I was happy to be catching something. There he goes. Now I'm someone that likes to throw a fluke a lot. And so this 6-inch size, I saw it, I immediately knew I wanted a couple colors. So I got the watermelon red flake for panfish. And then I got albino shad, which I like on cloudy days. And then I got another color, which I can't remember. I think it's called glimmer blue, which I like a color like that on sunny days where the fish have better visibility. They don't have too many colors available right now, but with those 3 colors, I mean, you can cover a lot of ground. There's another one, a little skinny, probably post-spawn. I was thinking the 6-inch size might be good in the salt too, if the stripers are on smaller bait. You know, those like 5-6-inch sea herrings sometimes they're on. Oh, I have a good feeling about that bait for later this summer. What's that? It's another bass, maybe a little bit bigger, not too much, but a little bit bigger. You know, the other thing, oh no, I think that's a pickerel. Yeah, that is a pickerel. The other thing is that post-spawn, sometimes the bass get into a little bit of a funk for a little bit. And, you know, maybe on a different time of the year they would be all about that bluegill swim bait. But sometimes those post-spawn fish get a little bit funky, and you got to give them something a little bit smaller, a little bit easier to eat, a little bit more streamlined. And then you're into fish almost immediately. This is a small, shallow pond that I'm fishing. Pretty much all of it is hit by sunlight, so it's pretty fertile. But the main reason I'm fishing here is because of the wind. I can kind of tuck in some of these little side pockets and get out of the wind. And some larger bodies of water or the ocean would be just about unfishable on a day like today. I'm fishing that bait with short twitches and short pauses too. I'm not letting it sit too long. Every once in a while I'll let it flutter down. Another skinny little bass, but that's okay. We're making progress. I'm someone that likes to fish new baits and try new water. So I sort of think of new baits as exploring new waters. And around me, I have to hit 4 new ponds to find one good one. And I feel like it's similar with baits, but I knew because I fished all the size of the Super Fluke before that this was going to be a winner. And pretty much as soon as I tied it on, I was into fish. But it's not always like that. A lot of baits that I try, you know, they're just not going to work out. But with a Super Fluke and a new size, I was pretty confident this was going to work out, and it did. I know you can't see it in the video, but I'm casting over some sunfish beds. And I'm working that bait through sunfish beds. So if you feel something peck at it, you just kind of ignore it. You wait for something to engulf it. You feel that tick on your line. It's kind of hard to explain, but you'll know it when you feel it. You feel some little fish just pecking at it, those are the sunfish. If you feel something just engulf it, and your whole line jumps or something like that, there's another one. That's a bass. You should set the hook. So I can't see any of the fish that I'm casting at. I know vaguely where the sunfish beds are, and so I'm casting the bait at the sunfish beds, and the bass will patrol around the sunfish beds waiting for one of these sunfish to make a mistake. You know, they get so hyper fixated on spawning and chasing other males off and competing for mates and that kind of thing. There's another bass that they kind of lose their focus, and the bass can pick them off. The 6-inch size casts a little better than the 5-inch size, as you might expect. It's a little bit heavier, and I'm fishing it on a medium heavy Zodius rod, 610 Zodius. You could probably get away with a medium power rod too, or even a spinning rod. You could fish it on light saltwater gear too. So I feel like it's going to be a very versatile size. I just haven't spent a ton of time with it because it's a new bait for me. I think I heard a fish pop something over on my right. So I cast across my body to the right side. A few twitches. Fishing the bait kind of fast right now. Trying to get something to react. I was just about to pull it in and make another cast, and something walloped it. But that's not a bass. I think I was fishing a little bit too fast, and I attracted the attention of a pickerel. They like faster moving baits. It's a fine line between getting bass to react to a fluke, and it's one of the few baits that you can really get them to react to, even if they're kind of in a, you know, off mood and not hungry. They'll still react to a fluke. Nice pickerel. He doesn't want to pose for the camera, but that's okay. I think I got 1 or 2 more little fish, but nothing too interesting. The star today was definitely the 6-inch Zoom Super Fluke. I'm going to be fishing that bait a lot this summer, I think. Probably both freshwater and saltwater. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Just like all my other videos, I'll list all the gear in the video description so you can duplicate what I was doing out here today. Hopefully have some good luck wherever you might be fishing across the country or across the world. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya!